Welcome. My name is Fauzia, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker. Let's get started. In today's episode, I would like to talk about self-care and self-worth. I want to give you a very small, brief definition of self-care. Self-care is whatever you do for yourself that makes you feel good about you is self-care. So anything you do that makes you feel good about yourself at the end of the day is self-care. What makes it self-care? So you make a list of all the things that you like to do, whatever that may be. Some people like biking, some people like cycling, some people like hiking. Whatever you like, you go ahead and make a list of it. Either you write it down or you make a mental list of it. But it's important that you have a list of things that you like to do. And the second thing is be very flexible with it, because what you could do 3 months ago, or maybe 5 years ago, you're not going to be able to do it now. Maybe not. I don't know. You know your body, you know what you can do, what you cannot do. So it has to be a personalized, flexible self-care plan. When you have the time during the day, you're going to pick something from that list and you're going to actually practice it. For example, if you want to just sit outside and be one with nature and watch the hummingbirds, that's self-care. So if you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, go do that in that time. So if you have another 10 minutes, another time during the day, you want to make a bullet coffee, do that. That's self-care. If you want to go for a walk and you've got 30 minutes, do that in that time. What you don't want to do is start making plans of something that you're going to do in the future, because you don't know what will happen when whatever that is in the future is going to happen in the present. You don't know what you would be doing in the present at that moment. So you take advantage of the time that you have available to you to pick something from that list, and you do that. Some people love to cook. Some people like to just go sit in the park. Whatever you like is what you want to add. So all day long, you don't feel exhausted and completely depleted because you took care of your boss, your employer, you took care of your family members, you took care of your neighbors, you took care of your friends, because the first thing you must do is take care of yourself first. Before you can do anything for anyone else, you must care for you. Like, for example, I hear a lot of times people tell me, I set an alarm and every morning I just keep hitting the snooze button. Remember, when you set that alarm, you set it for a particular time, and it's you that has to get up and actually practice getting up out of the bed and not keep hitting the snooze button. Because I hear so much about the snooze button in my session. So no snooze buttons. One of the problems that people have is that they provide themselves with negative self-talk. So some of this negative self-talk that you're having with yourself, the ego is involved in that. And what you don't want is, you don't want the ego to actually directing your life, because the ego is something that only lives in the past or in the future, but it never lives in the present. So when we're talking about self-care plan, it has to be something that you have a list and that you practice it in the now. So there's no such thing as, tomorrow when I get up, I'm going to do this, because you don't know what tomorrow may be like. And whatever is going to happen tomorrow, it has to be happening. It has to happen in the present. So remember that. So nothing happens in the past and nothing happens in the future. As Eckhart Tolle would say. Now I'm going to tell you what to do in order to recognize your self-worth or become aware of your self-worth. I would recommend mindfulness. As you know, I recommend mindfulness in my other video as well, because I think mindfulness is really important to practice. So meditation, mindfulness meditation. Again, I would recommend Kim Ng. She is absolutely wonderful, and she is on YouTube. So I would look her up, and the link is going to be below. The reason you want to do mindfulness is because it's going to bring you into the present, and you're going to focus on your breathing as you go, as the air goes inwards, and you're going to stay with that so you can experience the self from within. Remember, there's the conditioned self, and then there's the unconditioned self. You, the conscious self, is the unconditioned self. And this is the conditioned self. This is the ego that it's a bunch of thoughts, the narratives, the constructs, the labeling, the concepts, all of that is right here in the ego. And when we're trying to live through that, we're actually living an unconscious life. Therefore, it's so important to do mindfulness meditation to help you to become aware of who you are, who your essence is, the essence of your being. Who is that? It's you, it's your self-worth. So you have to become aware of that. And so once you become aware of your self-worth, your self-care is going to become paramount, because you're going to recognize that you are responsible for taking care of this body. And you cannot rely on a bunch of thoughts that can keep changing at the drop of a hat. It could be this one day, it could be something else the next day. And so I would recommend refraining from self-talk, especially if it's negative. If you want to practice self-care, do it in the present. Do mindfulness in order to become aware of your self-worth. And that is what's going to bring consistency to your self-care plan. It cannot be done through the ego. If you liked my video today, please hit like, subscribe to my channel, and also hit the bell button so you can be notified on my next video as they get posted. Thank you so much.